If you have stumbled upon this video, I'm sure you're here for us to answer the age-old question, does your Cricut machine need calibration? My name is Lauren. I'm a craft producer here at Maker's Gonna Learn, where we bring you inspiration, education, and motivation to get your die cutting machine out and get crafty. Now, the real question is, do you need to calibrate your Cricut? In short, the answer is yes. Now, we're gonna walk you through step by step when to calibrate, why you should calibrate, what to look for, and everything that goes into calibrating your machine. If you are new to the Cricut world, you may be wondering, what even is calibration? The definition of calibration is the process of configuring your machine to make sure that it cuts in the right place. Let's go overhead so I can show you two great examples of what a calibrated machine cuts like and what a non-calibrated machine cuts like. Starting off, this is a sticker that we have created and we cut from a machine that was calibrated. What you can see here is it gives you a perfect border around your sticker and it's even on all sides. So this is what something should look like if you have a calibrated machine. This sticker, for example, was cut with a non-calibrated machine. Now, both of these stickers have offsets, so they are going to have a white border. However, if this sticker did not have an offset, you can see here that part of these words would have been cut off. You can see that on the left and the top, the white border is so much thicker than it is on the right and the bottom. And if your machine is cutting like this is when you know you need to calibrate. When it comes to calibration, especially with Cricut, there are two instances that you may need to calibrate. The most universal one is going to be with print and cut. Now, it's very important if you calibrate with print and cut that you always use the printer that you plan on printing with and then using with your Cricut. This type of calibration is going to be for the Explore series machine and the Maker. The next type of calibration that you may find yourself needing to complete is for the adaptive tool on the Maker series machine with the knife blade. Now, I'll be real honest with you guys. I've only calibrated a Maker for a knife blade one time since I have been here with Maker's Gonna Learn, and that is something that really you're not gonna need to do very often. It just depends on how much you use the knife blade. Here in our studio, we do not use it that much, so we've only ever had to calibrate it one time. Now, with print and cut, we do have to calibrate quite often, which leads me to my next question. How often should I calibrate? That is going to really determine on how often you use your Cricut or how much you move your Cricut. For example, here in our studio, we have this Explore 3 machine, and a lot of times we'll take it off the table, set it in the floor, bring it back up, move it around, and if you move your machine a lot, it's going to throw the mechanisms inside the machine off by just a hair, so you may need to calibrate more often than not. Another time that you may need to calibrate is if you use your machine a lot. A lot of times usage is going to throw things off, so if you use it for lots of big projects, you may want to calibrate before you start. Calibrating before really big projects is going to help save you so much time and money. Just taking 5 minutes, making sure your machine is cutting perfectly. That way you don't waste lots of materials later on down the road once you realize it's not perfect. With all of that being said, let's go ahead and hop over into Design Space and let me show you exactly how to calibrate your machine. We are going to be calibrating our Explore machine today that we have here in our studio with print and cut, but just know that it is the same process for print and cut calibration and knife blade, and you're going to find them both in the same area. What you're going to want to do is come up here to the top right hand corner where your profile information is, and we're going to click that drop down menu and come down here to settings. Once you click settings, you're going to go over to the second tab that says machines, and then from there scroll down to where it says machine calibration. You are then going to select your device, and I'm going to show you what a Maker series looks like and then go back to an Explorer, and then we will start our calibration. So if you have a Maker series machine, you're going to pick Maker or Maker 3, you'll click start, And from there, you're gonna choose if you want to calibrate print and cut, knife blade, or your rotary blade. So you can calibrate another adaptive tool, which is the rotary blade if you have a maker. Just know that these are the options for the maker series, but the most common one that you are gonna use is the print and cut. So back to our settings menu, we're going to choose the Explorer 3 because that's the machine that we are going to calibrate today. And once you have chosen your machine, you are going to click Start. From there, we're going to choose Print and Cut. And this is where you want to choose the printer that you plan on using for your print and cut projects. You're going to choose that and then hit Print. This is what your calibration sheet should look like. It has two boxes here, a larger and a smaller, and then it has lines with numbers and letters across the top and the side. So once this has printed, we're going to click the Continue button and then follow the instructions. So this is telling us to place the sheet in the top left corner of your mat. And once you have done that, you are going to click Continue again. You're then going to select your device with this drop-down menu, and you are going to load your calibration sheet into your machine. What your machine is going to do at this point is it is going to register the black bounding box around everything just to see where it needs to cut. And then after it has registered the bounding box, it is going to cut that center square first. Once it has cut that center square, one thing you do not need to do is you do not need to unload your mat. You need to come over and check the line. One thing that we like to do is grab a weeding tool and try your best to get that center square up off of the mat so that you can see exactly where it cut. So you can see here, we've actually calibrated our machine quite recently, so it gives us a really good cut. However, let's go to the share screen, and if you are seeing the cut is way off, so if it looks like this, you first need to start with a basic calibration. It's going to be the same process as a fine calibration, but your machine will do a basic calibration first, and then you are going to want to go back and do a fine calibration. Now, for today, I'm going to click yes because I want to do a fine calibration because our machine is not this off. But like I said, if yours is, select no, do a basic calibration first, and then come back and do a fine. We're going to select yes because we want to continue with the fine calibration, and then once we have clicked yes, we're going to go with continue. And what our machine is going to do now is cut every single line across the top and all the lines across the side. Once it has finished, once again, we are not unloading our mat. What you need to do is come over to your machine and choose the line that is directly down the center of the ones across the top and the ones on the side. Now, we do have some friends of our channel that have said they have a hard time seeing these, so one hack that you may want to do is take a picture with your phone. That way you can zoom in really close to see if you cannot see very well. However, what you're going to do is you're just going to come in here, and for this purpose, number 11 goes directly down the middle, and then on the side, letter I goes directly down the middle. So what we are going to do for the top line, we are going to choose number 11, which is directly down the middle of ours. And then on the right side, we are going to choose the letter I. From there, once you have chosen the top and the right line, you're going to click continue. What your machine will do now is cut out this second square. And same thing as our first, if you want to, you can take your weeding tool and pull that up, and you can see if it is calibrated or not. Now, once again, if you're not happy with how it cut, you can go back and do another calibration, but that's going to be completely up to you. For us, we're gonna say, yes, this cut is close enough to the center, and click continue, and now you are done with your calibration. Your machine will unload your mat for you, and you have calibrated your machine for print and cut. So the answer to the question, do you need to calibrate your machine, is yes, absolutely. Now, how often you need to calibrate is going to be completely up to you and how your machine works. However, I hope you have learned through this video exactly where to find calibration and how to calibrate your machine. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that thumbs up and like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that bell notification so that you can get notified every time we get crafty. I'll see you guys in the next one.